Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So last week we have the topic, how long do we have? So there are death for everybody, but for somebody it's the timely death, for somebody it's an untimely death, and it depends on the karma, a consequence of that person. It could be a timely death or an untimely death. It could be the same reason pass away, but it could be a timely for this person and untimely for this person, depending on the condition, especially the karma consequence. And when we learn about the death, and even timely or untimely, we know that we sure have to pass away at one time, and we should think back and how long do we have in this life, because our time limit in this life, and how we spend our limited time for the benefit. So we also learn another sutta, another discourse, that the Buddha encouraged the person who don't have much time left, they should practice to do a good deed by way of body, by way of speech, by way of mind, and that way even they cannot eradicate the defilement or end the cycle of suffering, but at least they have the better destination after they pass away. So that's just the last week lesson. Today lessons, when we last week lesson, the ending is that the person don't have much time for their life to practice good thing to end the cycle of suffering. But if we still have more time, so we can do something about our life. So to the topic, one devotee, when she came back from meditation retreat, and she during the retreat, she heard a lot about the word contemplating on the body or on the mind, or observing the body, observing the mind. And she wants to understand more about the word contemplation or observing. So that's why we have topic, stay observing. Today's topic is based on two discourses in the Samyutta Nikaya, the collection of connected discourse. So when we talk about meditation, especially the insight meditation, is really a big topic. That's why it's really difficult to cover all of them. That's why I choose this discourse. It have simile for us to easy to understand. So in the discourse, the Buddha gave a simile. Bhikkhus, suppose a foolish, incompetent, unskillful cook. So the cook who make the meals is a foolish one, is an incompetent one, an unskillful one. So that person was to serve a king or royal minister with variety of curries. So different type of curry, many type of curry, and many type of ingredient in that curry to serve the boss. In this case, the king or the royal minister. So when he served the king or the royal minister like that, he have to serve with very kind of curry. The one predominantly sour, like the sour is the predominant one, or the bitter taste, or the pungent state, hot state, or the sweet, or the savory, or mild, or salty, or plain. So depend on the boss that he or she have to serve several kind of curry, like sour, like bitter, like hot, etc. But because that cook is a foolish, incompetent, unskillful one, so he doesn't take the hint of his own master. thinking that today my master is pleased with this kind of curry, or see that he reached for that curry a lot, or he took a lot from it, or he praised the curry I made today, or he liked the sour one, or he liked the bitter one, or he liked a sweet one, he liked a hot one, a savory one, a mild one, a salty one, or plain one. But that person, that cook, doesn't take that, doesn't see that, doesn't observe the hint from the master. So because he is incompetent, he's foolish, and he's an unskillful one, he didn't get the point, the hint from his own master, so he did not get any benefit from the master. Master doesn't please at him, doesn't satisfy, so doesn't give him any kind of clothes, wage, bonuses, because he doesn't take the hint from his own master. So it's the simile that in the same way, in this sasana, a foolish and incompetent and unskillful bhikkhu who practice meditation. So the person who is foolish, incompetent, and unskillful, he practices meditation by 4 ways. Stay at the body as one observing the body, stay of the feeling and observing the feeling, stay at the mind and observing the mind, and stay at the principle and observing the principle. So that person, when he stay at the body, when he stay in any object, he observing the object. Like stay in the body and observing the body, keen, aware, and mindful, he could get rid of covetousness and displeasure for the world. So while he practiced meditation like that, he can get rid of 2 things, the covetousness and the displeasure for the world. So how he can get rid of that? There are 2 ways of abandoning or getting rid of: by way of replacing or by way of suppression. So when he practiced the vipassana insight meditation, his wisdom, his knowledge from the meditation is developed step by step. And from a certain level, he start to realize the thing as it really is. Like before, he might think that our body is the whole thing, our mind is the whole thing, they all together, they never change, or they not disappear or anything like that. But time after time, when they practice meditation, he can see really detail about what is called a body, the combination of many elements, or how his mind behave, it arise and it sees how the condition affect his body and his mind. He start to realize the truth about his body and mind, something like that. And that is the wisdom from the meditation called insight. And that insight will replace the view, the wrong view about his body and mind. So that is the abandoning by replacing. Just like we bring the light into the darkness, and the brightness of the light will replace the darkness. So that is the abandoning by replacement. And the other one is abandoning by suppression. So when the person who practices meditation, his mind is calm and tranquilized. So that is the statement of asset concentration or absorption. So nearly concentration or enter the absorption jhana. So it could be the 2. And it's just like on the surface of the pond, there are so many aquatic plants. And when we try to hit the surface of the pond, so all of the plant is scattered. so we can see through. So that is the when we practice the meditation, our mind is calm, tranquilized, so we can enter the jhana or nearby the jhana. So it is the suppression of the defilement by way of suppression. So there are two ways, by replacement or by suppression. So when the person who practiced the meditation, when he stay at the body as observing the body, stay at the feeling as observing the feeling, stay at the mind observing the mind, stay at the principle Dhamma as one observing the principle. That is the four foundation of mindfulness that we often talk about. But this person is a foolish and incompetent and unskillful one, so he cannot get that point. He doesn't get the aware, mindful of the object, and he cannot get rid of the covetousness and displeasure for the world. And because of that, his mind is not calm. His mind is not calm, and he cannot get rid of the defilement, and because of that, all the corruption start to cover his mind. So the corruption here is referred to the hindrances. The hindrances is from the Pali word called nivarana. So nivarana is just like an umbrella. It's cover, and we cannot see through the thing, the true nature of thing. It's cover our mind, it's cover our wisdom. We cannot see through. So he cannot give up the corruption, the defilement, and it covers his mind. So he cannot take the hint from his own practice, from his own body and mind. He doesn't know that which level I stay at. So like the basic level or a higher level, he didn't get it. And because the defilement we call hindrances cover his wisdom. So there are 5 kind of hindrances we often talk about. Is the contrary of the jhana absorption. So by enter the jhana absorption, the meditator can get rid of these 5 hindrances. But if the 5 hindrances can strong enough, no, that person cannot get any concentration. So what is all of them? The first one is sensual desire. The second is ill will. The third one is sloth and torpor, like sleepiness, like not concentrate, like you feel sleepy. Fourth one is restlessness and remorse. Restlessness, like cannot concentrate, mind go here and there, wandering around. Or remorse, thinking about the past and regret for something. And the fifth one is doubt or uncertainty. So when you can overcome the 5 hindrances, so your mind is calm enough as a result of the meditation. But in this case, that person doesn't practice well and cannot overcome the 5 hindrances. And because of that, that foolish, incompetent, unskillful bhikkhu is not the one who get the blissful staying in this very life. He cannot get the good result from his meditation. That's why he cannot get the blissful staying in this very life. And he not get mindfulness or not get the clear awareness, because he doesn't take the hint from his own body and mind. So that is what we talk based on the discourse. So how to understand it easier in this very life. So for example, like you try to read a book, but your mind is not focused on the book. Even your eyes is try to read the word in the book, but your mind somewhere else, or you are sleepy. So even you try to read the book, but not actually you understand what the book say. So in the same way, this person tried to practice meditation, but he's not focused enough, or he's not trying enough, or his mind wandering, or his mind is covered by something, so he cannot get the result from the meditation. So that is the first case. On the other hand, there are also a good cook, a wise, a competent, skillful cook who will serve, who will who was to serve a king or a royal minister with a variety of curry, the predominantly sour, predominantly bitter, pungent, sweet, savory, mild, and salty, or plain. So that person is a wise one, is a competent one, is a skillful one. So that person can take the hint from his own master very well. So he know that today my master is pleased with this curry. He reached out a lot for it. He took a lot of it. He praised it in front of me or somebody else. Today he liked the sour one, or he liked the bitter one, or he liked the hot one, a sweet one, a savory one, a mild one, a salty one, or a plain one. So he know exactly what his master like. So because he take the hint from his master in that way, so this wise, competent, and skillful cook get benefit from the master. He may gain clothes, may gain wage, salary, or bonuses. So in the same way, if in this sasana, a person who practice meditation, who is wise, a competent, a skillful one, he get very well from his practice, so may get benefit. So when he stay at the body and observing at the body, he stay at the mind and observing the mind. He stay at the feeling as observing the feeling. He stay at the mind and observing the mind. He stay at the principle and observing the principle. He may get the benefit from it. He practice keen, aware, and mindful. So keen here referred to the effort. He put a lot of effort. So he have the energy faculty. So he aware of things, or clearly aware of everything around him. So he have the wisdom because he clearly see the thing. He aware of it. He have the wisdom faculty. So he mindful of everything around him. So he has the mindfulness faculty, and because he practiced in that way, so he able to putting away, abandon the covetousness and displeasure. So he has the power of concentration, called concentration faculty. So in this discourse, if he practice well like that, he might get at least four faculty. Four faculty for power of energy, virya, the power of awareness or wisdom, or kampanya, the power of mindfulness, we call sati, and the power of the concentration and immersion, we call samadhi. So when we practice the insight meditation, we often heard about 5 faculty that we need to develop. So in this way, he developed on almost 4 of them. So the leftover one is the satta, the belief, the faith in the practice. So when he developed the faculty in that way, especially the concentration, he can get rid of the covetousness and displeasure. So covetousness refer to attachment, the wanting to desire to have something, and displeasure is in the opposite, is not happy, suffering, lack of pleasure because of something. So you may say like one is liking and one is disliking. Okay, and for the word here refer to the body words is our own 5 aggregate of clinging. So he get rid of, abandon anything like and dislike refers to our own body. And when he practiced um, staying at the body and observing the body, staying the feeling, observing the feeling, staying at the mind, observing the mind, staying at the principle, observing the principle. So the way of practice is observing. Okay, and the word stay refer to take it as an object. You reside. It's like home. You're residing on that, or you're doing at that place. And kin refer to the right effort, the effort with enthusiasm, and this kind of practice is referred to two things important, like the mindfulness and the awareness. And by the power of tranquility and samatha, that person can get the mindfulness and insight vipassana with the clearly awareness. And finally, that person can get the result of his practice cultivation by getting rid of covetousness and displeasure. So that is another way to explain this phrase. So when that person who practice hard with body, with the feeling, with the mind, and with the principle, so his defilement, his corruption are giving up. And in that way, we say that he take the hint from his own body and mind. So this wise, competent, and skillful one, when he get rid of the defilement, get rid of the corruption of the hindrances, so it is to say that he's the one who get the blissful staying in this very life. So in this very life, he can get the true happiness by way of get mindfulness and clearly awareness. So that is called he take the hint from his own mind. So what is called the true happiness or the blissful staying in this very life? So we take another discourse also in the collection of connected discourse. Whoever stay at the body as observing the body, he gave up a desire for the body. The state of deathlessness is realized personally due to giving up desire. Whoever stay at the feeling and observing the feeling, he gave up a desire for the feeling, and the state of deathlessness is realized personally due to giving up desire. Whoever stay at the mind and as observing the mind, he gives up a desire for the mind, and the state of deathlessness is realized personally due to giving up desire. Whoever stay at the principle as observing the principle, he gives up the desire for the principle, and the state of deathlessness is realized personally due to giving up desire. So based on this discourse, we see that the person who practices vipassana meditation based on the four foundation or four establishment of mindfulness, we call the body, the feeling, the mind, and the principle, four of them. So when he practices like that, stay at that and observing that object. And when he practices well, he can give up the desire for that. And because he gave up the desire, he personally realized, experienced what we call the state of deathlessness or freedom from death. And that freedom from death is the true happiness we talk about in this very life. So the word deathlessness or freedom from death is from the Pali is amata. A is not and mata is death. So amata is another synonym of what we call nibbana. You heard about word nibbana, right? So what is nibbana? Nibbana is the combination of nir and vana. So nir is not, and vana is referred to craving or desire. So Nibbana is free from craving, free from desire, and that's why it's called amata, deathlessness. So it is the phrase we get, that person who practice the body as an object and observing the body, he give up the desire from the body, and that's why, due to the giving up desire, he can personally realize the state of deathlessness that we call the true happiness in this life, or nibbana in this very life. He might not truly nibbana, like end the cycle of the suffering, but by practicing giving up the desire, in this way, he can truly experience the nibbana, a part of nibbana in this very life. So that is what we talk about in this today topic. So when we learn about today topic, there are some things that we should keep in mind. That we talk about the four establishment of mindfulness: the body, the feeling, the mind, and the principle. So when the Buddha talk about these four, they are the object that we should observe. We should observe objectively, not like we scan it and we want to find something from it. It's a different thing. You just seeing it objectively, and when it arises, just know it, just see it with awareness and with mindfulness. It's not like you scan it and you're wishing to find something from it. So because nowadays some of the devotee, when they ask about practice meditation, some of them try to scan it and try to find something from it. So that is maybe a misunderstanding. Because when you try to find something, when you want to find something, it's kind of desire, wanting, and it against the practice. Okay? And the other thing is, when we learn about this discourse, the Buddha always talk about these four establishment of mindfulness together: the body, the feeling, the mind, the principle, all together. He never separate them in a different discourse. That may be different from nowadays. Some of the meditation teacher, they try to separate them. They teach this, not that. Like body only, not the mind, or not the feeling. So it might be a misunderstanding, especially maybe among Vietnamese, because some of the Vietnamese, in Myanmar, there are a meditation center called Matitarama. So most of the Vietnamese, they practice and they say that this center, they teach only the body method, like observing the body only. But when I practiced there, I used to practice there, and I realized that, oh no, it's not. They teach all about these four, but maybe it's a misunderstanding of them. Or another center called Swellmin Center. Most of the Vietnamese say that they teach only observing the mind. But when I in Usilachara host a retreat in Virginia, I heard myself from the teacher that, no, I'm not, the teacher said, I'm not teach about observing the mind only. I teach the whole four satipatthana. So it is to keep in mind that we might misunderstanding from this day teacher that these four should be separately. But in the sutta, this is the we get from the discourse that the Buddha always talk about these four all together. It helping each other, not one at a different time. So today's topic, we have the topic stay observing. We learn about meditation, how the word observing, contemplating. We have the simile of a bad cook, an unskillful cook, a foolish and incompetent cook who serve his boss, but he doesn't know what his boss like. He cannot please his boss, please his master, so he cannot get benefit from the master. So in the same way, the person who practice meditation, vipassana meditation, insight meditation in this sadhana, even he know the technique, but he cannot get any benefit from the technique. He cannot overcome the hindrances, the defilement, and he cannot get a blissful state in this very life. So on the other hand, there are also a good cook who a wise one, who competent one, who skillful one, who know well about his master, who know his master like this today on the other day, so he can serve well and he can get a lot of benefit from his master. So in the same way, there are a good monk who are wise, who competent, who skillful one, who practice meditation with a lot of effort, with mindfulness, with awareness. And when he practiced like that, he can overcome the covetousness and the displeasure for his own body and mind. So he stay at the body and observing the body. He stay at the feeling, observing the feeling. He stay at the mind, observing the mind. He stay at the principle and observing the principle. So when he practice like that very well, he can overcome the hindrances or the corruption or defilement of the mind. And when he can get rid of the defilement like that, he is called the person who have the true happiness in this life. And the true happiness have another name, is amata, or the deathlessness. That is the freedom from the desire. And even he cannot totally destroy the cycle of rebirth, the cycle of existence, or truly Nibbana, but at least he can experience Nibbana in this very life by practice that way. So that's just what I want to share today. Thank you for listening.
Okay, discussion time for those who are new. You can raise your hand and ask question, anything pertaining to today's lesson or Buddhism in general. So if not, I give my input in today's lesson. So to begin with, you heard Venerable say about abandoning the desire or the craving. For those who not familiar with the practice of Buddhism or did not actually reach a very high stage in meditation, when you hear about giving up the desire or craving, it's a very devastating feeling. Really, you would feel life would be so boring, so meaningless when you no longer have the desires. Or people, when they face depression, they have no desire to live. There's no meaning to live in this life anymore, so they end up, end their life committing suicide. So in Buddhism, giving up desire or craving is not in that way. And why is it? It's not that simple that one day you wake up and you just give up desire or give up the craving. It has to go through a very rigorous process of practice to the point that you reach the point that you feel very happy, very peaceful, very calm. That's beyond the happiness that dictated by desire of sensuous desire. So once you reach that stage, you look back that the happiness, the fulfilling that you got from sensual desire is so meaningless, so low, so devalued. So that's why they just no longer interest in the sensuous desire anymore. They go far and beyond the one that we currently have. And the true happiness that they get from the practice, from the meditations, is far and beyond from the sensuous happiness that we get. Because the happiness you get from sensuous desire eventually lead to a lot of suffering. For all of you, notice that when we have a lot of happiness from sensuous desire, at the end of the party time, there's always emptiness, there's always some regret, there's always something that you're not so happy. So, but in the practice of meditations, when you reach the state of happiness, it's the true happiness that promote more happiness. It will never give you the unhappiness or the suffering that you get, because it's not been dictated by greed, anger, and delusion. Whatever that dictated by greed, anger, and delusion, it will lead to a lot of suffering. When you practice, you get away from this three poison. That's why giving up the sense of desire is what it meant in this lesson. We get a lot of that. People come to us with a very dismay, very, very sad, very disappointed that, if we are to have no desire or no sense of desire, life will be so meaningless. People commit suicide for that kind of thing. So it's not in that sense. But only for those who actually see or have a glimpse of the happiness through the practice will understand the value of it. You can make the comparison. But for those who don't practice, get no idea, and you will never, have this comparison. And you will actually, definitely will face, the meaningless of life if you don't have this desire anymore. Sometimes when you're sick, when you're not healthy, you don't have the desire to eat. You don't have the desire to do this, to do that. That's not the same thing. So when you truly, healthy and happy and all that, then the giving up the desire, because you have this kind of the level of the practice, it makes a difference in your life. And those people don't look depressed, they don't look negative, they don't look anything like you would think of. They are very optimistic. Those people that actually gain the true happiness, they are the most optimistic person, they are the most energetic person, the most loving life, people, because they see the value of life. They see that, continue to live is to give them more opportunity to practice, to gain the happiness, and to eradicate the greed, anger, and the delusion. So they are more positive, more lively, so because they have the purpose in life, different from the people who just been enslaved by, the greed, anger, and delusion. Okay, so that's also to get out of the way about giving up desires. Don't get it in the wrong way. Today we talk about the Satipatthana, the four foundations of mindfulness. It's a very powerful discourse. It's one of the essence of Buddhism, and because this four foundation will eventually help you to eradicate, to filter, or to refine your mind, to eradicate greed, anger, delusion. And this type of practice will eventually get you enlightened. That's how the Buddha got enlightened, because of this Satipatthana. What are the four? Contemplation of the body, Kaya Nupassana, contemplating on the feeling, Vedana Nupassana, contemplation on the mind, Citta Nupassana, and contemplation on the Dhamma, the phenomenon called Dhamma Nupassana. And altogether, we could actually call it Vipassana. And Vipassana is translated in English called insight meditation, contemplation on the phenomenon. So like today we practice, we need to be focused, we need to build up this concentration called samadhi. for our mind to be calm and clear, for us to see the true nature of all things, which is in our mind, our body, and around us. And once you see the true nature of it, your wrong view will eventually polish. The reason we suffer so much because we have wrong view. We believe that things are permanent. We believe that this body belongs to us. That's why we cling on to it. That's why something happened to us. We worry. We get despair. We get depressed. Or we get proud of our body, our look, things like that. But the Buddha taught us that nothing is substantial, nothing is impermanent, nothing is permanent. Things will always change, and because it changes, we don't know, we don't understand it. We hold on to it because we hold on to something that we cannot keep. That's why we suffer from it. That's why we have wrong. That's called wrong view. But when you meditate, when you do this kind of technique, vipassana, or the four foundation of mindfulness, you gradually understand that nothing is substantial, nothing is permanent. I will accept when the time comes. I will accept when I have it no more, because thing comes and it will go. So I will be calm and free from all the attachment. And that's how I feel happier, I feel better. But if I hold on to it, in vain, things will continue to change. Things will continue to get decay, things will get lost. And we are here just kind of hold on to something that we cannot keep, right? Just try to hold on to the wind, You try to contain the wind. You can't, and then you get disappointed, and then you get suffer for nothing. You just create all this, this mess, this bad feeling, for nothing, like that. So eventually you learn, and then you let go. And the moment you let go, you feel free, you feel happier. But a lot of people don't understand that. They think, I used to have this, I cherish it, but now it's no more. It's been broken, been stolen, been blown away by, natural disaster, things like that, and they get depressed, and then they don't get it back, and then they continue to get depressed. So the Buddha said this nonsense. You don't have to be in that way. So you practice, eventually see it. Okay? So, but when you practice vipassana, you don't practice just one foundation of mindfulness. We call body, which we call body, feeling, mind, and the phenomena, we call the Dhamma. When you practice vipassana, we practice in four, but they don't come in four. They will come, randomly. Sometimes when you're contemplating on the in-breath and out-breath, you're actually contemplating on the body, kaya anupassana. But while you're contemplating on the breathing, feeling might arise. When you sit for a little while, you start getting aching, soreness, and all that. Then you shift your focus from the breathing to the feeling. The moment you shift it to the feeling, you observe the feeling. You are actually doing Vedana Anupassana, contemplating on the feeling. But then while watching the sensation rise and fall, comes and goes, you have this state of mind rise. It's maybe there's a desire to give up, desire to stand up, desire to do something. Then you notice that, I have this desire coming, or there's a thought rising in my mind. You start to shift it to watch that mind activity. So you are actually doing cittanupassana, mind contemplation. And then while doing that, you notice that, things will come and go. It rises and it passes away. The feeling from here, and then it moved to here, it moved there. It doesn't stay in one place. So I noticed that, feeling, it doesn't really stay in one place. It rises and it passes away. So realize that, you see that, then you are doing Dhammanupassana, the contemplating on the phenomenon. So it keeps moving around and around, shifting. But according to the technique of the contemplation of vipassana, whatever the object most prominent, most visible, most easy to see, then that is the object you need to focus on. So your object will ever change, change it all the time. Yeah? So that's how you do it. But some people, especially the Vietnamese practitioner, they have this saying that when they go into one center and that center focus on, starting with the breathing, in breath and out breath, and that thing happened to be called Kaya Anupassana, contemplating the body. They believe that, this center only teach contemplation of the body, and then another center, guide you how to contemplate on the mind, how to watch your mind. And they go there and they practice. They say, this center is teaching contemplating on the mind. They don't teach contemplation on the body. So thing like that is the misunderstanding. And differentiate between that is misunderstanding. But you cannot do just only one and disregard the other three. Because it's all in one technique. But it's shifted from one to the other, depends on the situation. So that's called the Satipatthana, the four foundation of mindfulness. And Vipassana is the technique, how to go about observing and following it. So for those who practice Satipatthana, and they need to be consistent and persistent to eventually get the result, which is the insight. The ultimate goal is to gain the insight. But it needs time. It needs consistency and persistency. But in the short term, a lot of people say, oh my goodness, it's very difficult. It seems simple to begin with, but it's very difficult to keep it up because eventually you get bored, eventually you lose track of it, you have no guidance, and you don't go nowhere. So they give up. So if they give up, they miss the opportunity to develop the insight. And they continue to whine about life is so suffering and they suffer so much. You complain about you suffer so much. And then the Buddha see that and he gave you the remedy, he gave you the antidote, but you don't follow his teaching, throughout the process. It's the same way that you get the antidote in your hand, you don't take it to cure the disease, and then you continue to whine about your sickness. So the same way, so in order to be free from this suffering that you always whine or complain or suffer from it, you just continue to put in more effort, be more persistent, consistent to do it. Eventually, you get it. You cure the disease. Many people in the past have done it. You can do it too. It's just that you lack of consistency or perseverance, right? So, but then again, people are saying that, okay, I know that, I hear that, I understand it, but it's too hard. Okay, so that, if it's too hard, then I can understand. But in the short term, you can still get benefit from it. Even though you have not developed the insight, you still get short-term benefit. And what is it? The short-term benefit, if you sit for 15 minutes with the correct technique, you will gain calmness and peacefulness. When your mind is calm, your body is calm, you will have this calmness, tranquil moment. And when you have tranquil, calm moment, you will be happier. That's a short term. That's the little thing that keeps driving us to do more and more and more. And then the more you do it, you're heading further into the ultimate goal, which is the insight. And once you truly get the insight, just even if it's a weak one, you see how beautiful it is. You see how your life is so much better when you have the right understanding. When something happens, you no longer feel so so depressed, you don't lament it, bang your chest and lament it over it. You know, a lot of Buddhists face death in the family. A lot of Buddhists, they don't feel so lamented. They don't cry their eyes out. They don't scream. They don't overreact to the death of the loved one. And a lot of people look, these people, they say, you are so emotionless when your loved one die, and because they understand. It's not they don't care or they don't love the one already passed away. They understand death is unavoidable. Everyone will face it one day. What's important is how you live your life, how you make the best out of it, how you love each other, how you forgive each other, how to make things better for each other. That's the important part. Death is inevitable. Everyone will die. So that term is finished. The term of this person is finished. That's the true Buddhists will look at it. And then they continue to do a good thing for the past relative. They share merit, they do a lot of, because they think crying, lamenting, and all this kind of emotion will lead to nothing and make things worse. So as a true Buddhist, they don't do it that way. But the non-Buddhists, they didn't know. They think that, oh my goodness, I no longer have this person in my life. My life will be so empty, and and they get depressed. They cry till their eyes out. Some people actually cry until they're blind. Why is it? You won't ever bring that person back, so why not do something better? If you love that person, live your life, to the value it should be, and to prove the person that you love, give you the life or help you, worthy of all the effort they have done for you. And continue to remember. You don't forget your loved one. You continue to remember, continue to do merit, continue to remind of how wonderful that person be, an example for everyone else to follow. You don't cry, you don't lament, it doesn't mean you don't care anymore. Right? You're different. Okay? So a true Buddhist will do like that. And the non-Buddhist will do the opposite and make things even worse and ruin your day. They be depressed for years every time they mention about, their loved one, thing like that. So how it be negative? A lot of people think that Buddhism always talk about death so negative. How can it be so negative about that? And for those who lamented and all that stuff, how can it be positive about that? You see that? So wrong view lead to a lot of suffering. Right view lead to a lot of happiness. And in Buddhism, it's all about right view. When you have right view, you have the right way to live your life. Okay? Any questions? Yeah. Today you do about 20 minutes of sitting. Do you have any questions with your sitting? Is soreness, a lot of wandering mind, I'm sure. Yeah? A lot of sleepy. Yeah, when you close your eye, you tend to sleep. But you continue to practice, and eventually you get used to it, because only conditional that you close your eye, you close your eyelid, you fall asleep. And it's normal, but you continue to do it, you get better. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm afraid to sit and meditate, because when I sit and do nothing, I start to think a lot, and I can't meditate. Well, actually, thinking is the process of the mind. You can't avoid it. You cannot say that your mind cannot think. But the person who has better thing to do, if they focus on the object of meditation, they are so busy to look at it, they don't have time to think something else. If you are so busy, you have no time to be silly, right? Important thing to do. You focus when you need to study. You need to focus to study to take the exam. There's no time for you to be fooling around or be silly like that. So but the silliness will eventually go away when you be more focused. So when you focus on the object of meditation, the wandering mind eventually, subside or stop. When you do a lot of thinking, that means that you have a lot of time in your hand and you've been silly, yeah? So don't worry about it. The wandering mind is natural. And eventually it will become less when you have more focus. And to be focused is to be mindful at all times. Remind yourself to go back to your in-breath and out-breath. And then your mind will wander again, and then you bring it back, just like a little kid. When you're parents, you have a little toddler, and toddlers are very, very hyper, always on the move. But you love your kid. You don't want to scold at your kid. You don't want to discourage the kid. So when the kid run away, you just gently, lovingly bring it back. Run away, you bring it back. Eventually, the toddler or the kid be more tame, more disciplined. It be less, moving around. Your mind is just like this untamed toddler. It's always moving, thinking about some things. Yeah? So you train your mind, you always come back. You always come home. Come home is when you're in-breath and out-breath. If you keep coming back and coming back, your mind will be more trained, less likely it will drift away. So wandering mind is natural, it's normal, it's controllable. So don't worry about that. And then a lot of people say, yes, okay, I understand that, I can focus, but then the soreness is so unbearable, sometimes I can't sit for a long time. So when you have soreness, think of it as a game. You shift your focus on your soreness or pain. You need to understand, because the Buddha also mentioned about the Vedana, the soreness is impermanent. It's impermanent. It will always change. So if the Buddha says so, then I need to see it for myself. Is it really true? So think of it as a game. Just for me, I always look at like, okay, now you come, so I'm going to watch you. You see, what the Buddha say is true. So I'll keep watching it. I keep watching, my soreness. So I stay calm and I watch it. I stay calm and I watch it. And I see how it moves. Yeah, it is true. It rises and it just disappears. And then it moves here and it moves there and moves there. It doesn't stay in one place. And then if I keep moving, if I keep looking at it and not so worried or so bothered by it or so afraid of it, it's not really. It's just only the feeling rise and pass away. It's not that intense that you think. A lot of time because of the uneasiness, that you feel afraid that you might get injury or something happen to you permanently, that's why you worry. You add on to the pain, because that is the mind pain, not the body pain anymore. So you intensified it. So it makes things worse. But if you calm your mind, if you stay calm, then you have less of the problem to worry about. So now, if you stay calm and relax and only look at the pain, it's only half of the problem if it's actually that intense. Okay? So think of it as a game. I always look at it as a game, like, okay, now I want to see what's going on. So I keep watching it. You might get enlightened from that, A lot of people could get enlightened from watching the behavior of the pain come and go. You will understand. When you understand about your pain, more than half of your problem in life completely resolved. A lot of us suffer because of pain, right? Physical pain. And then mental pain is silly. The Buddha say mental pain is silly because you don't need to have mental pain. Mental pain is what you make of it. If you make of it, then you can get rid of it. The body pain is the one that you can't make of it because you have this body and it's prone to have pain. Even the Buddha himself has body pain. So that's something you can't get rid of. But the mind pain you can get rid of. So there you go. But for us, we gobble everything in, right? We gobble whether it's trash or something, everything is treasure to you. You gobble everything and you complain. Right? The Buddha say, well, you don't need to. You can filter out all that all the garbage. You don't need to take it all in. The one that you can, then, just have to live with it. Right? That's not what him, similarly. I don't say the Buddha say that, but, what it meant like that. Okay? So if you understand, the nature of the pain, then the only thing you worry about is the body pain. And you need to understand it. And even with the body pain, you understand it, then you have less of the problem to face. Okay? So that's today, we talk about the four foundations of mindfulness. And if anyone tell you about Buddhism is so negative, thinking about giving up desire, and life without desire, so meaningless and all that, then they don't know it. They don't know there's something is better out there that you can actually reach. Okay? All right? For today's lesson, I just hope you gain something about it. Okay, thank you.